So Facebook versus Twitter are completely different animals, right? Facebook is where your average Tea Party grandma lives. They live on Facebook, okay? Over 75% of Texas internet users are on Facebook. They have Facebook accounts. Less than 20% have Twitter accounts. Twitter is your hyper-engaged, hyperactive journalists, political elites. That's who's on Twitter. Facebook is everyone. What is interesting is on Ted Cruz's race, we raised directly, now this is just direct dollars. So if I ran an ad on Twitter to Ted Cruz's followers that said, give us $5, and I ran an ad on Facebook to his fans that said, give us $5, Twitter raised as much money as Facebook. Now, I'm not surprised about that because of how rabidly active people are on Twitter. But Twitter, where it's important is to reach those journalists, is to reach those really active people. And I think Twitter's actually released a new form of advertising called Twitter cards. And what you can actually do on there is someone just clicks a single button and you capture their email address. And really, again, going back to what is the base metric online? It's still email address. We still want to gain as many email addresses as we can, opt-in email addresses. And Twitter has been useful in that sense. But I think journalists and academics and political elites sometimes get so hung up on Twitter because that's where they live, and they fail to realize that the average person just doesn't live there. The average person is on Facebook, spending all their time on Facebook, and they aren't really spending nearly as much time on Twitter.